Sup y'all, and welcome to another Let's Play from me. This time we're tackling what is my favorite game in the entire Metroid series. I was kind of thinking to myself, what with all the negativity surrounding the series as a whole as of late, what with the two recent releases that will continue to go unnamed throughout the course of this video. Probably not throughout the course of this entire series, but we're going to avoid mentioning them right this minute, and just focus on, remember when Metroid games were totally, completely blow-your-mind amazing? And that's exactly what we're here to do today. Ever since I played these babies back on during the GameCube era, I just totally fell in love with them, and yes, this second one just so happens to be my favorite. I am playing this on the GameCube version and not the Wii version, in case that wasn't incredibly obvious by this point, but yeah, once again, I am skipping cutscenes at the beginning because, well, you know, if you're here to watch cutscenes, then there's plenty of other places on YouTube for you to do that, and I am just really, really eager to get this started because this has kind of been a long time coming for me, and I've been really looking forward to getting this thing underway because I just really like this game. And while we're on the subject of series and Nintendo series that have had recent releases that highly disappointed people, I also took the liberty of starting up a round of Super Paper Mario. That I'm not recording, I'm just playing it for fun, but it's just like, yeah, remember when this game series was awesome too? And yes, Super Paper Mario is awesome. It's the last good one, in my opinion, of course. And you can already see what is probably one of my favorite additions to this game, just the way that they revamped the whole scanning thing to make, number one, finding scanning stuff easier, and also just, you know, making it more fun, because you got this nice little, you know, book of stuff, and I didn't miss any trooper logs yet, have I? I have every intentions of trying to get 100% in this game, at least as far as items are concerned. Those of you who are fans of the Metroid Prime series know that there are tons upon tons of missable scans. I have gotten all the scans in this game before, but I have no promises as to whether or not I'll be getting them during this recorded session of the game. But I will at least be doing my best. I've probably played this game more than any other game that is not named Banjo-Tooie. Done, like, you know, just regular old runs of the game. I've done, like, you know, 100% on just items, 100% on scans, pseudo speed runs, and by that I mean not doing any, like, crazy tricks that you might see for people doing speed runs, but just, you know, me personally seeing how quickly I can get through this game. This is gonna sort of be a hybrid of all of those, because I'm gonna try to get all the items, and I'm gonna try to get all the scans, and I am motivated to try to go fast, but again, no promises there, because I'm gonna be talking the whole time. But yeah, I don't know. I have not really played that many horror games, but I still remember this game scaring the crap out of me when I was first playing it. Like, you just go in all these dark areas all by yourself, there's no one there to help you if anything bad were to happen, and it's just like, oh man, I don't want to go in there. Metroid series kind of has a lot of that. If you've played Fusion, there is a enemy that throughout the first, like, say 3 or 4 times you encounter it, your only option is to run, because you have absolutely no chance against it, so it's just like, It's terrifying, man. Okay. So far we are progressing nicely, I would say. I did, for a while, consider playing this on the Wii version, and maybe editing my setup so that I could use like a keyboard and mouse, because I've always been curious as to how that might work, because I always thought that the Wii had an excellent control scheme for first-person shooters, just because, well, the Wii's control scheme comes about as close to keyboard and mouse as anything. Now, I'm not bashing like console controls for FPSs or just being like, you know, keyboard and mouse is the best, nothing else. Nothing like that. I'm just saying that that control scheme works very well for that particular kind of game, and so does a control scheme that kind of emulates it. Is this a cutscene I can skip? It is, okay. I honestly don't know if people prefer to watch Let's Plays and have the cutscenes get skipped or not, but the gameplay is most of the stuff that I'm going to be doing, and it's going to be the stuff that I have the most to talk about, so... Plus, there's not really a ton going on in these cutscenes to begin with, because there's no voice acting, and it's just like, oh, look at this stuff. That's Dark Samus, aka the Phazon suit, embodied by the soul of Phazon, or something. Yeah, there's like a little teaser of that at the very end of the first Metroid Prime, which was always really cool. Like, get all the items and get a little teaser to speculate on what the next game in the series will be. Of course, you know, once you beat Prime 3 and you see the bonus ending, there's not really anything to go off of there, just because Retro stopped making Metroid games there. Not stopped. I'm still hopeful they could return to the series. You never know. You have no idea what they're working on post Donkey Kong. And here is something I'm going to make fun of, because even though that is what you just witnessed was an event that is going to occur many, many times over the game, and really didn't cause me that much harm in general, it, for whatever reason, caused me to lose all of my awesome items that I had at the start. Some of which I may not have even had the opportunity to use up until this point. The game's gonna taunt me and be like, you lost this, you lost that, you lost all hope in the universe.
I chose to ignore those Metroid games for one reason.
Overall, for being a game that is on a console and doesn't use the dual analog system, it works pretty well, although it does feel a little archaic just because it doesn't use the dual analog system. I mean, what does the C-Stick do in this game again? I kind of forgot. Seriously, can someone help me? I don't remember what the C-Stick does. Ah, well, it doesn't matter. So we got ourselves a save station. The first couple of times I played this game, like, I just straight up missed the first two save stations, and then I was like, oh crap, and then lost to the first boss and had to start the whole game over again. Yeah, that was tons of fun. Save stations are a technology scan thingamajigger in the first game, and not in this game. Just gonna power up this elevator here, and then we'll wait for this amazing cutscene. It's like, oh my gosh, it's an elevator! I've never seen that thing before in my life! Why do I keep going into Morph Ball for no reason? I don't know. I'm still getting used to my control scheme, kind of. I basically have it switched to... I'm using an Xbox 360 controller, and I have it switched to where B is X and X is B to more closely resemble the control scheme that was used on the... Okay, that's not a scan thing. That was used on the original, you know, GameCube controller. One other nice thing about the way that the scan stuff works in this game is that previously you had to scan something all the way to determine whether or not it was going to be a, you know, a thing that gets put in your logbook. However, in this game, you like scan it and then it starts doing like the add 'em up thing, like, oh, it's in this and this and this, and then like, oh man, it's a scan thing. So, I have watched a couple of speedruns of this game, and I know that one of the early on tricks is to not actually scan that thing that moves the other thing, or big container, or whatever you want to call it, right away, and instead you will like do some crazy ghetto jump over to the side, and then like somehow be on it, and then the cutscene will trigger, and like, it obviously won't show you on it, but you'll technically be riding it over here. It's kind of neat. I do not consider myself to be that skilled at this game, so I'm not doing that. But I am scanning stuff because scanning stuff is for cool people only, just like wall jumps in Super Mario Galaxy. The scan visor is useful for collecting information. Alright, I'm not gonna repeat all the random stuff that the game says. But yeah, what else can I say about Metroid Prime 2? It's a really great game, and I'm sure you probably know that, because if you didn't know that, it's unlikely that you would still be watching at this point. Maybe. I don't know what you do with your time. But yeah, this segment is going to be particularly, exposition heavy. For a sequel anyways. But yeah, we're gonna just try and make as much progress as we can. Hopefully I can get to the opening boss by the end of the first 2 segments, because if it takes me much longer than that, I'll be like, oh no, this game's gonna take forever. That's okay, because this game's really fun. And I can deal without your shenanigans, please. I don't have any energy tanks yet, so I can't take a whole bunch of unnecessary risks just yet. I definitely will later on, because that's how we roll. Alright, nothing there, nothing there. This is a red thing, which means it's important. Oh no, now we're all locked in! And there's no way out. Watch us swoosh right in. Swoosh. Yeah. So I kind of have less to talk about at the beginning of this playthrough than I thought I would, but... Does this do anything important? Yes, it does. As soon as I let go of the L button, something happens. I don't think it actually does anything crazy for me at the moment. Because it's like, oh man, shoot out a distress beacon. Yeah, there we go. I'm shooting out a distress beacon so that, I don't know, one of those other characters from Metroid Prime Hunters can come find us, and I'm just going to ignore these Shadow Troopers. Oh boy. Those turrets were kind of terrifying in last game. However, in this game I don't think they're that bad, because one charge shot will kill it. Of course, in that game you didn't even start with the charge shot, and I really need to stop constantly making comparisons to the original, or the sequel for that matter, but I've played Metroid Prime 3 significantly less than the other two. Just because it's one of those games where you're like, oh man, I need a cursor, I gotta sit in one specific spot, and oh... It's worth it though, trust me. Head bop with me, come on everybody!